What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, this is Minerva, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies. Oh, you guys! Welcome back to Gotta Love Them Movies, your daily dose of movie news. This is a place to talk about the stuff that we love, and right now, I love this little one. Oh, listen to that purr. You see how happy she is? Oh, Minerva, what a glorious day it is to have you on the show. She was just rubbing around my feet, wanting to say hello, and for me to scratch her head and give her loves and pets and kisses. But little does she know, it's time to start the show. So Minerva, I love you dearly, but you've got to go. There you go. All right, you guys. Yeah, today we've got a whole bunch of fun stuff. Oh man, Patrick Kakata. Oh, are you ready for the WandaVision finale on Friday? Boy, oh boy, am I ready for that. We're gonna talk more about that later. I will take all the live questions at the end of the show. But you guys, I'm flying solo today. I usually have a guest on the show with me. Today I'm flying solo. We've got a few interesting things. A few trailers to talk about. One trailer just dropped out of the blue. And so I'm a little discombobulated because I just finished watching that trailer. We'll talk about it in just a second. But before we get into all of the stuff we're going to talk about today, if you haven't done so already, please head over to YouTube as this page loads. Thanks for doing a live show. Head over to youtube.com, type in Gotta Love Them Movies in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You're going to see a little rectangle. It says subscribe. Go ahead and click on that rectangle. What clicking on that subscribe button and subscribing to the channel does is it helps us, obviously, to widen our subscriber base. And with the more subscribers, the more watch content we get. With the more watch content, boy, oh boy, hopefully get to make this show my full-time job. Previously, I had said that as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, the live portion of the show will move from Facebook to YouTube. Now, due to my employment status with my other flight attendant job, things have changed. That has accelerated a little bit. So the live portion of the show will move from Facebook to YouTube on March 17th on St. Patrick's Day. So be ready for that. If you guys have any topics that you want to talk about, if you want to make any question or comment anything, a main topic here on the show, as long as it's family friendly, send me an email to gottalovethemmovies@gmail.com and we'll make your comment or question a main topic here on the show. All right, you guys, let's jump in and take some movie news.
What?
What? All right, you guys. Like I said, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, a bunch of stuff to cover, and the first is this. If you're familiar with various dating apps like Bumble or I don't know. There's a whole bunch. There's Match.com, and a very famously very popular dating app is called Grindr. Well, but why are we talking about Grindr on a movie talk show? Well, this is why. Grindr has started filming, and they've they're doing their first original series. According to this article on Deadline, this scripted series is being called Bridesman. Let's jump into the article real quick for a second. It says the popular LGBTQ dating app Grindr is entering the original scripted content space with Bridesman, which is set to begin production this month and air in the fall of 2021. So later this year, it's going to air. Created by John O'Neill, Bridesman is a comedy series which follows a gay bridesman as he undermines his best friend's wedding. Each episode will be 6 to 10 minutes in length and will be available on YouTube as well as the Grindr app. And then it goes on to say, who's in the show, who's created the show. And I would love to highlight this particular name right there, Shannon DeVito. You guys, as I was watching, as I was reading this, I was kind of going through, I was like, okay, cool. I've got some thoughts about the show. I've got some thoughts about it being on Grindr. I've got thoughts about Grindr making its own scripted show. And then I read the name Shannon DeVito. And I was like, hang on a second. I know Shannon. We're friends. We go way back, a long time ago. I had no idea that she was a part of it. We haven't spoken for a while, but I had no idea that she was a part of this. So just before the show, I texted her. I was like, "Hey, can you what?" Yeah, it's crazy. I'd love to have Shannon on as a future guest and talk more about this in depth. We're not going to do that today, unfortunately. But yeah, so this particular show on Grindr called Bridesman, I think is a really interesting idea. First of all, it's an interesting concept that Grindr even wants to get into the scripted space as well. I mean, the online television and streaming platform sphere is so big, and the competition is massive. Now, I understand Grindr is one of the most popular dating apps out there. But for them to, I'm not going to say that they're going to switch formats. They're going to add, like an additional thing, into their service that they already offer. So, like with Amazon Prime and, my goodness, Disney Plus and Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max and everything else, Apple TV Plus, everything else. This is an interesting thing because as it says, that each episode will be between 6 and 10 minutes in length. Of course, that brings to mind Quibi. They're trying to have like this micro short content. And I think where Grindr might succeed, where Quibi failed, is that Grindr's success is not going to be based on original scripted content. It's not going to be based on library content. It's not going to be, it's not going to need that type of content. It already is fully functional as a dating app. That's how it supports itself. That's how it makes money. So to offer an additional service is say, hey, you want to watch 6 minutes of this television show? The episode is only 6 minutes long. Check it out. Or, 10 minutes or 8 minutes, however long it is. Check it out. See if you like it. They have some, a little bit of talent behind it. It's an original idea. And it's the kind of production that isn't going to cost. How much money did Quibi spend making their shows? A ton. And they got huge name actors like Kevin Hart, Dave Bautista, lots of like big name people who were very, very expensive. I don't recognize a lot of huge names in this except for Shannon DeVito. She's very expensive in herself. But, that aside, of course, I'm being very facetious. But Shannon's wonderful. Oh man, I could go on and on and on about her. She's a complete delight. So, I mean, I don't know. This is just a really interesting concept, and plus the concept of the show itself. It sounds like My Best Friend's Wedding is what it sounds like. It's kind of the LGBTQ version of My Best Friend's Wedding, but as like a television show that's like really micro short. I don't see anything but an upside here, but maybe you guys have a different take on it. Do you think this is not such a great idea for a direction of Grindr to go in? Do you think they should just stay in their lane and do what they know, which is just maintain the dating app? Or do you think that is ambitious and creative and maybe a good move for them to kind of like break into the scripted series realm a little bit? What are your thoughts? I'm interested. Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know what those are. All right, guys, our next bit of news today that we're going to cover. A few days ago, a trailer, I think it was over the last weekend, a trailer dropped for M.O.D.O.K. the animated series debuting on Hulu. When I first heard about this, I was like, yes, sign me up. Because all I knew at the time was that it was animated, it was a series, and it starred Patton Oswalt. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. M.O.D.O.K being voiced by Patton Oswalt, yes, I'm in. And then we got to see our first look through Entertainment Weekly. They had like a few photos, like set photos. If you're not familiar, this is a stop motion. If you know anything about me, I adore stop motion animation. I love stop motion animation. It is so interesting, so fun. Just the creative art that goes behind. I may not love every stop motion animation thing that has ever been done, but I have the utmost respect for it. The meticulous calculations and how precise you need to be, and my goodness, like I love stop motion. I love stop motion. Anyway, so this style of stop motion feels very Robot Chicken to me. It feels very Robot Chicken. And as you watch the trailer, yeah, it's fun. It's kind of high action. It gives you a sense for who the character of M.O.D.O.K is, and that like he's trying, and he's villainous, but he's not that great at being a villain, right? Based on here, let's jump into this article from Collider. They give a synopsis of the show. It says Hulu's first adult animated comedy series, Marvel's M.O.D.O.K, premieres all 10 episodes Friday, May 21st. In Marvel's M.O.D.O.K, the megalomaniacal supervillain M.O.D.O.K, played by Patton Oswalt, has long pursued his dream of one day conquering the world. But after years of setbacks and failures fighting Earth's mightiest heroes, M.O.D.O.K has run his evil organization, AIM, into the ground. Ousted by AIM's leader, while also dealing with his crumbling marriage and family life, the mental organism designed only for killing, that's what M.O.D.O.K stands for, mental organism designed only for killing, is set to confront his greatest challenge yet. I can only assume that his greatest challenge yet is trying to mend things with his family, trying to have a family life. So here's where the trailer lost me a little bit. This is essentially an announcement trailer, right? We get our first taste of it. We get kind of a sense of the tone of what the show is going to be, how the comedy is going to work. And like I said, it feels very in line with Robot Chicken, if you're familiar with Robot Chicken. But as like a long form version. The thing about this show that interests me the most is to see his family life, is to see like what does M.O.D.O.K's everyday life look like. And here in the show, we come to find out he has a family. And presumably he cares about his family. And so that's the stuff that I find really interesting, are those interpersonal relations. Yes, I understand. It's a comedy. It's a stop motion animated comedy film with Patton Oswalt about this ridiculous supervillain. I get it. But that's the stuff that interests me the most, is to see like personally, like how does he change? Like, what's important to him? Of course, yeah, I definitely want to see like him blow stuff up and kill SHIELD agents and stuff like that. Like, that's all fun, well and good. But I really want to see more of like the day-to-day type. Do you guys remember on Rick and Morty? There was an episode of Rick and Morty where I think Rick and Morty go into like various dream states, and then I can't remember his name, but it was like the Freddy Krueger type of character that was like trying to kill Rick and Morty in their dreams, and so they just kept doing like an Inception, dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, and eventually we get to see where this Freddy Krueger, it's killing me, I can't remember his name. Anyway, if you remember the Freddy Krueger's character, his name from Rick and Morty, jump down to the comment section below and please let me know. Terry? Scary Terry. I think his name is Scary Terry. Haha! Scary Terry. Anyway, but we get to see Scary Terry at home with his family and his wife and his kids, and we get to see like what matters to him, what's important to him. And like that was, granted, it was a small blip of a Rick and Morty show, but I loved it. I loved seeing that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm really looking forward to seeing here in M.O.D.O.K. We didn't get a taste of that in this trailer, but I'm sure this is just an announcement trailer. It's a teaser. We'll get more of an in-depth. This thing doesn't even come out until May. So we've got some time. We've almost 2.5 months. We have 2.5 months. So I'd say give it a month and month and a half and kind of let them really amp up their advertising on Hulu and the rest of the internet to kind of get us excited and give us more of a sense as to what this M.O.D.O.K show is going to be about. But it doesn't put me off at all. I'm still looking forward to it. Any news or anything about the M.O.D.O.K show that I can get my hands on, I'm all for it. Big question for you guys is, what do you think of the M.O.D.O.K trailer? Does it get you excited? Are you pumped for it? Would you have liked a little bit more from the trailer? What are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know what those are. All right, guys, we have a few more trailer reviews to do, and this next trailer review is like I said at the beginning of the show, I had not heard of this movie. I did not know that this was a thing that I needed to watch, and the trailer dropped about an hour ago. And I just found out. I just heard of it. It is the trailer for Michael B. Jordan's new film, Without Remorse, coming straight to Amazon Prime. Now, I saw Michael B. Jordan. I saw a brand new trailer. I saw Amazon Prime, and I was like, great, I'm in. Oh, and also Tom Clancy. It's a Tom Clancy thriller. And I was like, great, I'm in. I want to see this trailer. So I think it was 5 minutes. It was just under 5 minutes before this show started going live. I had just dropped what I was doing and watched this trailer. I wasn't gonna talk about this because it's already a packed show. So, but here we are. I dropped what I was doing. I watched the trailer. I have there are two things going on in my brain right now. One is this looks like the concept of the show. It looks like every other, this guy with special skills has been done wrong, and now he's going to go on a rampage of vengeance. I mean, we see it time and time again. John Wick, a guy who's been done wrong, and now he goes on a rampage of vengeance, and he has special skills. We see it, Liam Neeson in Taken. He's a guy with special skills who's been done wrong, and now he's going to go on a rampage of vengeance. My goodness, what else have we seen this in? This is a story that keeps getting retold and retold and retold in new ways. He comes out of retirement so he can go on like what he loves most has been taken from him. Now he's going to go. Man on Fire is another movie that this was very reminiscent to me of. That being said, this movie looks awesome. Yes, it looks like every other movie about a guy with special skills who's been done wrong, and now he's going on a rampage of violence. But man, like, this looks really cool. It looks really cool. There's a shot, there's a sequence at the end of this trailer where I think he's at an airport. He's like right outside of an airport where all like these cars have like stopped and parked, and I guess he's caused like some kind of mayhem or something right out in front of the airport, where you drive in and drop your loved ones off the airport and then drive away. So there's like all these cars stopped and kind of like smashed into each other, something like that, right? He takes his gasoline and pours it all over this one car, lights a match, throws it down, the whole car goes up in flames. And then he walks through the fire, gets in the car that's on fire, and interrogates the dude for information who's inside the car that's about to die with the car on fire. Sorry, but that was cool. That was so cool. I didn't expect to see that. That really did take me by surprise. I thought that was really fun. I do have a special guest real quick. Now, Minerva has a few thoughts about this trailer. Minerva, what are your thoughts about the Without Remorse trailer from Michael B. Jordan? Uh huh. Yeah. Really? Yeah, no, no. I liked that a lot too. Anyway, thank you so much for your thoughts, Minerva. Big question for you guys is, what did you think of Without Remorse starring Michael B. Jordan? The trailer, again, this was an announcement trailer. I had no idea that this was a show that was coming. I'm looking forward to it. Even though it looks like cookie cutter every other movie within this genre type, yeah, I'm definitely going to drop what I'm doing to go see this movie. Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we have one more trailer review to talk about, or rather one more trailer to talk about, and that is this. Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Netflix, which is not known for its quality of films, they let's be honest, Netflix does not have a good track record when it comes to movies. Their television shows are spectacular. Movies, hit or miss. But having said that, Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer, first of all, yes, I'm in. Two, they're playing superheroes. Again, I'm hooked. I'm in. And it appears that also Jason Bateman, again, at the end of this trailer, Jason Bateman pops up. That was it. I was done. Yes, that just made me giggle so hard. Seeing Jason Bateman, he has like these little crab claw hands. It was so weird. It was so weird, but it was beautiful. What a beautiful moment. This trailer doesn't look great. But they do some very interesting things in it. And by interesting, I don't necessarily mean in a good way. I'm a little dubious of this. This movie looks to me like, I want to say Hubie Halloween, but I also feel like that's an unfair comparison. Hubie Halloween, just not good, not good. This looks like a standard Melissa McCarthy vehicle, right? That's the thing. I want to like it so much, but the trailer doesn't look great, except for the Jason Bateman pop-up at the very end of the trailer. I was just kind of like, okay, it feels very much in line with 2016 Ghostbusters. It feels very much in line with some of her more recent comedies like Superintelligence. I'm gonna see it because Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer, superheroes. It looks fun. It just doesn't look like it's going to be a good movie. But they also kind of go through, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the interesting part. It looks like they're taking various popular superhero, I don't want to say tropes, but I will say references. So like there's a portion of the movie or in the trailer where Melissa McCarthy holds up a bus and throws a bus. That seemed very reminiscent to me of parts of Shazam, where Shazam was kind of like catching the bus, and he caused the accident with the bus, that whole thing. That old chestnut. Of course, it starts off with Kiss from a Rose by Seal, which kind of harkens back to Batman Forever. There's also music of Thunderstruck, which is very Iron Man 2. The costumes, to me, I don't know if maybe I'm just looking into this too much, but their costumes or uniforms seem very reminiscent to me of like X-Men. There's a line in the trailer where supposedly the villain, Bobby Cannavale, says something to the effect of like, this town needs like a new kind of villain or something like that, which to me it was very reminiscent of two iterations of the Joker. The Jack Nicholson Joker, where he says, "This town needs an enema." The second type of Joker was with Heath Ledger, where he says, "This town deserves a new class of criminal." That's my best Heath Ledger Joker I can do, you guys. So it seems like they're taking very specific references, diluting them a little bit, and then putting those diluted references into the movie and now being highlighted in the trailer. I don't know. I don't know how this movie's gonna be. It looks fun, and I want it to be good so bad, but I do have my doubts. You guys. But what are your thoughts? Did you see the trailer for oh no, I forgot the name of it. Thunder Force. Did you see the trailer for Thunder Force? What did you think of it? Are you looking forward to the movie? Do you think it's going to be thumbs up? Are you kind of more like, I have my doubts. I want it to be good. I really do, you guys, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know. All right, guys, speaking of Melissa McCarthy, cheers to Melissa McCarthy, by the way. Yeah, speaking of Melissa McCarthy, our last bit of movie news today, she's going to be in Thor, Love and Thunder. Who saw that coming? Now, apparently she and her husband put out kind of I guess it went viral, a viral video of the two of them speaking directly to Marvel Studios or Kevin Feige or the filmmakers, Taika Waititi, saying that they want to be in Thor, Love and Thunder. Because, I mean, who wouldn't? Who doesn't? Melissa McCarthy is a comedy genius. Even though, you know, this trailer for Thunder Patrol, my goodness, why can't I think of the name? Thunder Force. Even though Thunder Force doesn't look that good, she's still a comedy genius. Well, apparently their prayers have been answered, or rather their YouTube a viral video has been answered, and now Melissa McCarthy is going to be playing the stage actor version of Hela in Thor Love and Thunder. You know, we've previously talked about how Matt Damon was going to Australia to film Thor 4. Which begged the question, is he reprising his role as, like, actor Loki? Or is he going to take on a more substantial role? Well, guess what? Some set photos have leaked. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of those right now. Set photos have leaked. There's someone who has obviously taken a few set photos here. We see, you know, we'll go through one by one, but here is Chris Hemsworth's brother, Liam? I can't remember. I can't tell the difference between the two. One of the other Hemsworth brothers with Melissa McCarthy. You can see that they're done up as Thor, as Hela. Let's scroll on through. Here we have Sam Neill reprising his role as actor Odin, and there's Matt Damon done up in costume as Loki, as actor Loki. And then we go to the last set photo, and here they are on a stage, filming the stage production of whatever story that they're going to be telling in New, presumably this is taking place in New Asgard, I would think. I don't know. But yeah, so these are just some of the set photos that have leaked. So we do now have confirmation that, first of all, Matt Damon is not going to be taking on a different role in Thor: Love and Thunder. He is reprising his role as actor Loki, and Melissa McCarthy got her wish. She's playing Hela in the stage theatrical actor version within the MCU of Hela. I think this is fun. It's just cheesy. It's silly. It's fun. It's very much in line with what director Taika Waititi has been doing, in like his style, his sentimentality, his brand of comedy. I mean, this is not going to make the movie good. It's not going to make the movie bad, but I do think this is going to be just a fun, lighthearted moment. And, you know, there is something about, you know, I think we all love the dream of saying, ooh, I want to do this thing, you know, and working hard, putting in the effort to make your dreams come true. to me, that's kind of the overall message here is, Melissa McCarthy is not just some schmo off the street saying, "Oh, I want to be in a Marvel movie," and now it happened. She put in the time, she put in the effort, she put in the work to hone her craft to become who she is and what she's not just good at, but great at, and then puts herself out there even more and says, I would love to do this thing. I would love to be a part of this thing. And 99 times out of 100, nothing ever comes to fruition because of that. But what I love about this situation is that the stars aligned in her favor. She put in the time, she put in the effort to be great at what she does. And then she put herself out there to say, if there's a part for me, if there's a role, I would love to be a part of this. I would love to just do a cameo, like a cameo, a larger role. I don't care what it is. Stephen Colbert did the same thing with Lord of the Rings. When they were filming The Hobbit, I think it was in the second Hobbit movie, he had a really tiny part where I want to say he had a speaking role of like one line or something. But Stephen Colbert loves The Hobbit. He loves Lord of the Rings so much that he like begged Peter Jackson to put him in the movie. And Peter Jackson did. And it wasn't a gratuitous cameo. Like if you didn't know that was Stephen Colbert, you wouldn't think anything of it. No, of course, we're all going to look at Melissa McCarthy as Hela and be like, oh, of course, she's playing, oh, that's Melissa McCarthy, yeah. Because that's the joke. That it's embedded into the DNA of the film itself. That's why it works. That's why it's going to work. But yeah, I love Taika Waititi for doing this. I love Melissa McCarthy for doing this. I don't see anything but an upside here, but maybe you guys have a different take on it. Are you maybe experiencing Melissa McCarthy fatigue? Do you think that this was too gratuitous of a cameo for her to do? I think it's wonderful, but like I said, maybe some of you have a different take on the situation. What are your thoughts about Melissa McCarthy being in Thor: Love and Thunder? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, you guys, we've reached the end of the show today. This is the portion where we take your live comments and questions. And Patrick Kakata, you've been talking up a storm. So yeah, let's go ahead and take your live comments now.
It's alive! It's alive!
All right, you guys, like I said, Patrick, you've been sending in some live comments and questions all show long, so let's jump right into this now. Your first comment, he says, are you ready for the WandaVision finale on Friday? Boy, oh boy, Patrick, am I ever ready for this? Actually, let me take that back. I'm not ready because I don't want this series to be over. I love this show so much. I don't know if I'm ready to put it in my top 5 favorite television shows of all time. It's great and it's gripping and it makes you want more. I don't know if I would put it in the top 5 most favorite television shows of all time, but I'm loving this show so much. This is a perfect example of a show that gives you just enough that you salivate for more. So with the finale coming up, in what? Jeez. Less than 2 days. Yeah, less than 2 days, you guys. Wow. 72 hours. No, we're gotta be under 60. 40, yeah, 40. So 30, like, let's just round it off and say 30 hours. In 30 hours, this show is coming. This episode is coming. Yeah, man, I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said on the show, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? Things are going to end very poorly for Wanda. As I mentioned before, we know that Vision is bound to the Hex because he is now we understand why he's bound to the hex, because he was created within the hex, right? He was created within the hex. So when he, in episode 6, when he ventured outside of the hex to see what was going on, and like all the sword agents were there, and they tracked him, and they're like, what is happening? Bits and pieces of him was flying off, and he was being absorbed back into the hex. He can only exist within the hex. But guess what? Her kids can only exist in the hex too. They were created within the hex. They were spontaneous creations. So she spontaneously created she brought 3 individuals into being. She brought 3 individuals into being, and they're bound to the hex. So when the hex goes away, and I am willing to bet all my poker chips, I'm going to go all in on this one. The hex will be destroyed, at least by the end of the show, of the finale on Friday, which means Vision is the manifested Vision is going to die. So this is like, here's what's crazy. She watched her parents die. She watched her twin brother die. She watched the love of her life die twice. And now the love of her life is going to have to die again for a 3rd time. And if you want to include White Vision, who's the personality-less version of Vision, like I guess OG Vision that Ultron created. So there's that. So there's a possibility that both versions of Vision are gonna, I guess, die and go away. So now Vision, the love of her life, will die 4 times. How is that possible? And she's also gonna have to watch her children die. Her parents, her twin brother, the love of her life, and her kids. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Things are gonna. Also, I've been wondering, who is Ralph? Because Agatha Harkness, in not every episode, but a lot of episodes, has referred to her husband Ralph. She's also referred to her bunny rabbit named Scratch, whom in the comics, her son is Senior Scratchy, I think is what she refers to her bunny as. But her son is named Scratch in the comics. So has she transfigured her son into a rabbit? Who is this rabbit? Is the rabbit really Ralph? I have a feeling, because she's referenced Ralph a lot, and we've never seen Ralph. We've never heard from Ralph, but she's referenced him. So is Ralph... there's a theory going on that Ralph might be Mephisto. Ralph might be Nightmare. Ralph might be the Grim Reaper. That's who it is. So the Grim Reaper was teased in episode 2, the Dick Van Dyke episode, during the opening credits, because you see the helmet, or like the hat that Grim Reaper wear. The Grim Reaper from the comics, not the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted, right? So the Grim Reaper from the comics, his hat was teased in the opening sequence of WandaVision. So, I mean, there's a possibility that her husband, Ralph, is Grim Reaper. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Anything can happen. I'm not expecting any big reveals of that type. People are still talking about like this, the Luke Skywalker level cameo, right? The Mark Hamill level cameo is still going to happen. I have a feeling that we've already seen the cameo. And that was Evan Peters. I also think people are misinterpreting what a Mark Hamill level cameo or a Luke Skywalker style level cameo is and looks like. I think people are blowing this way out of proportion. I think people are expecting earth shatter, like for whatever cameo they think is yet to happen in the show. I think people have set their expectations way too high. I think we've already seen it. Maybe we haven't, but maybe we have. I don't know. Patrick Kakutta goes on to say, "Welcome back home. What a trip." Yeah. So, well, thank you so much, Patrick. Yeah. So Kim and I, for those of you who don't know what Patrick is talking about, Kim and I took a road trip down Route 66 last week. Man, oh man, what a fun time we had. We got to see some really cool things. We went to a lot of really cool places, did some really cool stuff. And met some really bizarre, interesting. In fact, this photo right here of where we are, I don't even know what to call it. It's not a store. It's not a shop. It's an establishment. I guess it's like a storefront, but it's like the guy who owns it doesn't sell anything. Anyway, the guy who owns or quote unquote runs this place was the inspiration for Mater in the Cars movie. He was the inspiration for Mater in the Cars movie. He's a wackadoo. He's a wackadoo, and he acknowledges that. He's like, yeah, he very proudly announces that he's never worked for anyone in his life. He's been to every type of. He's been arrested and sent to jail, and nobody can pin any sort of legal thing on him. And he very, very proudly announces this about himself. So good for him. Like, we were in his shop, in his store, like in his whatever you want to call it. Curio of interesting artifacts, I guess maybe would be a way to describe his establishment. But he sits down and he lights up a cigarette and he says, "Absolutely nothing in my store and in this place is illegal." And then we come to find out it wasn't a cigarette. It was a joint. And we're like, okay, you're really starting. And then he tried to like get us to go to his house with it. Like, he just seems like like a lonely guy. I don't think he wanted to do anything weird or nefarious outside of his already bizarre nature. But like, he was like, "Oh, I should take you guys to the sanitarium." And we're like, "What is the sanitarium?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my house. It's where I live. Come on, let's go." And I was like, we're trying to get to Amarillo before the sun goes down. Thanks, but no thanks. We gotta go." It was weird, you guys. It was strange. He's a nice enough guy, I guess, just lonely and prides himself on not following anyone's rules except for his own. But yeah, that was like, we just had a lot of really cool and interesting experiences, and I can't wait to do it again. Not just that, because we flew into Tulsa, drove to Santa Fe, and then drove back to Tulsa so we could fly back to New York. But I'm looking forward to doing it again, or doing like another section. Go from Santa Fe down through Albuquerque and out to Santa Monica. I think finish that section, and then we can do like maybe on another trip do like the section from New York down to Tulsa. I think that would be fun. There's so much to see, you guys. Just Americana, 1950s, 1960s time capsule, if you will, because that's when all this stuff like blew up and exploded. Metaphorically, of course, in terms of driving culture. Like, there's so much car culture that exists along Route 66 because there needs to be. Roadside attractions, motels, restaurants, gas stations. Like, these are all things that you need for a car journey. Like, Route 66 was America's highway. In some ways, it still is America's highway. For its Americana value. It was the only mode of transportation. If you lived on the West Coast and you wanted to get to the East Coast, you went through Route 66, or at least a part of it. If you lived in Chicago, if you lived on the East Coast and you wanted to get to the West Coast, guess what? You took Route 66. There's no other else. There's other ways to go, but not as fast and as efficient as Route 66 was. No, and then, of course, in the 1970s, with the birth of the interstate highway system, Route 66 it didn't go away, but it was kind of forgotten about. And a lot of this old stuff is preserved. Like, there was, do I have any pictures of the old motels? No, there's the Oil Driller, Fudgy the Whale. That's not the name of the whale, but that's the name we gave it. Oh, I don't have any of the hotel or like motel pics there now. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of those old motels have just kind of been preserved. Like they're not gonna be demolished, and some of them have gone abandoned. Like there's the Vega Motel in Vega, Texas. I think it was Vega, Texas. Maybe it was Vega, New Mexico. I don't remember what state. They're all kind of blurring together. But in Vega, there's like this U-shaped hotel, and apparently it was like the first of its kind that kind of revolutionized the style of motels all along Route 66. They after the Vega Motel kind of did this like like upside down U shape, or whatever you want to call it, like a horseshoe style hotel system. It became more popular. Like that just became the trend all along Route 66. And so now, today, you see tons of motels, like roadside motels, all along Route 66 that have that U shape or horseshoe shape style. It's really interesting. Like there's so much history all along Route 66, and I loved it. It was so fun and engaging and educational. And living in New York, I don't get to drive. It's just, I miss driving. I don't miss owning a car, but I do miss driving. So just having the opportunity to hop in a car and just drive for hours. Oh, I loved it. It was so fun. Anyway, guys, so that's going to end the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Thanks so much for giving us stuff to talk about, and just being here and just hearing what we have to say. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what everybody all along Route 66 would want you to do, including me. Anyway, guys, we live in a weird, crazy world where everybody has their own thoughts and ideas, and sometimes those thoughts and ideas clash. So if you have an opportunity to infuse a little bit of kindness into the world or speak kind words to each other, please take those opportunities. I implore you. As always, in the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. I will see you guys tomorrow.